If you're like me, you love using a looper pedal to make guitar music like this. But there's a number of loopers that can take your music making to places you never thought you'd go, like this. I'm Steve and welcome back to the channel. That's an original song that I wrote and recorded using the Boss RC505 Loopstation. It's a ton of fun. It's got 5 tracks and a bunch of built-in effects. And even if you don't own one, I think you'll enjoy this video a lot. I walked through how I built that song from scratch, starting with a bass simulator with my guitar, a little hi-hat to get some rhythm going, and then I layer upon layer all these different tones and textures, and then I use the effects to do some crazy stuff. Now the 505 is what's known as a tabletop looper. It's got buttons that are typically used by hand, often with beatboxers. You can use it on the floor though with your feet. As a guitarist, I use it by hand, but I really put it to work on some rock and roll and some interesting types of music that I don't normally play, but when you get the beats and the effects going on here, it really opens up a whole new world. Instead of just a traditional acoustic or electric guitar and maybe 1 or 2 layers, you can go crazy with this thing. And I also have a part 2 of this video coming where I really geek out. I go over a bunch of different effects that you can add on top of the tracks you've already done to make some really crazy and unique sounds. And if you haven't already, subscribe here at Steve Guitar to my channel and follow me on Instagram. I do more live looping demos like this, gear reviews, guitar lessons, and a whole bunch more. All right, let's check it out. This is some fun building some songs on the Boss RC505 Loopstation. Here we go. Okay, so here we are with the Boss RC505. You can tell I've got some reverb on my voice. It's applied to the whole song just to make sure that the built-in drums, which I'll show you in a second, aren't too dry. So the first thing we're going to look at over here on the left is the input effects. You can see A, B, and C on the left. You can control the effects that show up before you play guitar, and they're permanent, so they're locked in. The first one I've got is guitar to bass. And that's a half bass simulator, half guitar. You can mix the percentages. But let me turn that on. We'll do a quick little bass guitar style loop here without a bass guitar. All right, so I added that little nice bass there. You can hear our hi-hat there too, which is nice. And each track has an individual fader. All right, we're gonna do a little rhythm on track 2. Here we go. Now you can hear there it moved it right into the left. You can set the panning left and right before you even start, which is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna do some volume swells on track 3. I'm gonna turn on this effect, which is an extra panning delay, and it affects your voice. What I did there was actually record a blank track. It just let me get a 4-bar track going so that I don't have to pay attention to the time in a second. So those are some nice volume swells. Now let's play around with the drums. Ready? So I've got a hi-hat pattern, but I can turn this knob right here, change it up once. Nice 16th note on the hi-hat, and this little kick and bass drum. All right, let's do a little solo, right? All right, I wasn't recording that, but let's go ahead and record on track 4, ready? So you can see there, I was able to do an 8-bar loop, and the rest of them were all 4 bars. So you can mix and match, which is really cool. Let me pull that back out. So I was able to just play around and do some soloing on top of it, but I wasn't recording. Another drum beat right there. I love it. All right, now let's go to one of my favorite effects of all time for any guitar or guitar pedal is the slicer.
record on track 5, ready? I'm gonna do another blank track first. I don't have to, but I'm just making sure I get the time right. That slicer is really cool. I'll do a little more soloing with the slicer turned on. Here we go. So you can see there I was able to turn off the drums independent of the rest of it. And now let's take it to my next favorite effect, the filter. So now over here on the right you've got your track effects. You can add these later and they are non-destructive. You can change them whenever you want to. Ready? Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Whoa. And this knob over here controls it. Ready? All right, I'm gonna take it to the club. This is where it gets a bit risky. There's no way to do preset drum patterns, so you just have to spin this knob and hope you hit the right drum pattern, but I'm gonna give it a shot. wasn't what I thought I'd get, but it's pretty cool. Let's take it to the next one. And now the scratch effect. Ready? Two. Do it again. All right, I'll try a couple more effects here. Let me get rid of that drum. Ready?
Okay, so that's part 1 of 2 on this tutorial series on the Boss RC505 Loopstation. You can see there that I built the song and then I started getting into some of the effects that you can keep adding on later. In part 2, we'll dive even deeper into those track effects and see how we can keep twisting and manipulating the original song into something cool. Again, hit subscribe and like here at Steve Guitar for more live looping demos, Boss RC505 videos, guitar lessons, gear reviews, and a whole bunch more. All right, check you next time and check out part 2. See ya.